Hi, madam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Faizan?
You know what? I need to explain what this madam thing is for people who are listening here in the United States. It's madam and sir for teachers, and maybe it's the remains of the colonial era, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I call her madam. How have you been? It's been so many years, right? Since we talked like face to face, because we have been chatting and
It's been
everything.
ages. I actually don't remember. Maybe were you there in like 2015? You were, huh?
I was, yes, yes.
Yeah. So 2015.
It's on 5 years. Wow.
5 years, yeah, five
And
long years.
still, I mean, because of this social media, you don't feel like you haven't met for so long because you keep
Yeah,
on getting the
yeah,
updates about each other and everything.
yeah, yeah. And also, I think you and I have been in touch. I mean, not as much, like, but occasionally, yeah. So we've exchanged thoughts about lots of things.
And we do not agree on some aspects as well, political
Of
ones, which
course.
we're not going to discuss today. So it's not going to
Yeah.
be political at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so how is it going in Dubai?
It's going fine. Um, uh, how shall I put it? I mean, things are, of course, very different here than in Pakistan,
Mm-hmm.
but they're also very different than the way things were in Netherlands when I was studying there. So it's like a mix of both, and I like it here. I like it here. Yeah, there's a big Pakistani community here. The university where I work in, they have a lot of Indians and Pakistanis. Previously, I was in a workplace that was more American, Arabic,
Mm-hmm.
But the university, I'm in University of Wollongong now, so it
Ah.
has a lot of British Pakistanis, British Indians. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Life is good here. It's close to Pakistan. That's like one of the biggest reasons I came here. So
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, how Desi is Dubai and how Arabic is Dubai, and then how global is Dubai? Because
I mean, it depends how. I mean, it depends on your social circle also. I have both, so you know, yeah. It's I mean, if you want to stay with, you can very easily find people from your own background. If you want to explore more, there's basically every nationality, not just in gen. I mean, even in university, from students, from colleagues, you can make lots of friends. So yeah,
oh,
yeah.
and everybody is going to. I mean, all my friends have been to Dubai. It's like second home for India,
Yeah,
Pakistan.
yeah.
So a lot of traveling happening there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of, especially here, there are some industries that have a lot of Indian Pakistanis. Banking has lots of Indian Pakistanis. Construction has lots of Indian Pakistanis, and even academia has I think more Indians than Pakistanis. But yeah, there's a good percentage there also.
Oh.
And then there are a lot of Indian Pakistanis who are like born here. Generations, people who've been living here since the 70s or maybe 80s. So yeah.
And how's the COVID situation? Is it all locked down or?
Oh, yeah. So I think until now the government has been dealing with it quite efficiently.
Mhm.
You know how the system is in the Emirates. Because of Ramadan, they just relaxed some things. Still, there are some restrictions, but not as much as the last 1 month or so. So people are careful here. We'll see how it goes. I mean, we've been hearing that during the summer things will get better, but I haven't seen any good research on this. So we will see how it comes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think that maybe after Ramadan things will go again to the lockdown phase. But
Uh,
yeah,
Weird
let's see.
times, right?
Yeah. It's so many people have lost their jobs, and it's a vicious cycle that you don't get paid. So how do you pay other people who are working for you?
Yeah.
And then it's affecting every industry. So and it's global. It's not like you can escape from corona here and then you go elsewhere and where the impact will not be there. So basically, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was talking to Rabia too, that like living in Lahore, we have seen Ramadan with all that food, and
Yeah.
thinking of the samosas wallas all the way up to
Yeah.
the restaurants, everybody is gonna be quiet. So it's gonna be different this year.
Yeah. I tell everyone here. I tell my husband also that you should go to Pakistan when it's Ramadan. It's a completely different environment. I mean, here also Ramadan is very festive, but I think the festivities that we have, that you can't find it anywhere.
That is
So,
I
yeah.
miss home, especially in Ramadan.
Yeah, especially, around iftar time, you can
Yeah.
see, in busy places, if you go, like people are standing in lines and wanting to get samosas from some thele wala.
Brings me to your research part. How's it going?
Not as good as I would. I mean, I'm publishing.
Mhm.
I'm publishing roughly 2 journal papers per year, which is okay. But I'm looking for my research area is very. Let me put it this way: it's very traditional, like core structures. I want to make a switch because these days, it's all about sustainability and green concrete and this and that. So I've been reading up on it, but now this corona thing has happened and we are just stuck at home. So I'm barely giving my lectures and I'm cooking, and these are the only 2 things I'm doing. That's it.
Now when I'm done,
But
I'm
hopefully
thinking.
in the summer, I'm hoping that in the summer I will find more time. So yeah.
I was just thinking for myself too that I mean research really needs motivation. It's not like you can do it like a job. You
Yeah.
need to
And
have.
especially like it depends where you are working. There are some places where, for example, if you are teaching 2 courses, then I do think that you have time to focus on your research also. So it depends what kind of university. Is it the research based? Is it teaching based? I mean, I'm teaching in a university that is primarily teaching based university.
Mhm.
So the focus, your evaluation, your performance evaluation, it does have a research component, but the major component is on teaching. So
Right.
naturally, whether you like it or not, you have to adapt, right? So, but I mean, I do believe that people are still working. I mean, I don't know anyone who's not doing research and who's not publishing. It's like, publish or perish. That's the
So,
you
and
have
that's
you
what I'm
must.
scared of. I don't want to publish for the sake of publishing. It's too
Yeah.
ideal to think. I know. I'll take the taste
Oh,
of
it's
it.
hard. Trust me. For example, I recently published, I think in February, a journal paper, and I had been sitting on that data for a year, more than a year. I
Uh-huh.
just couldn't find time to put it together. I still have a lot of unpublished work, even from my PhD. I have lots of unpublished work, but I just don't have time to write. I write 2 papers, and I'm like, this is a lot. But yeah, when it depends where you're working. So if you are in a university where focus is on research, or maybe you're on tenure, naturally you have more opportunity, more time to do research.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have been a star student, right? You had how many gold medals? I mean, the story never gets old.
My father my husband once, he said, he was talking to my dad, so he said something like, she's very smart. So my dad said, yeah, but she had 7 out of 8 gold medals. So
Okay.
my dad is one of those people who are like, how Desi parents are. They want to brag about their kids everywhere. Like literally, they would go into, they would meet a stranger and they would start talking about, my daughter did this, my son did this. So my dad is exactly like this. But the way he says it is like this, that she got 7, he's very proud of it, she got 7 out of 8 gold medals. So I was like, why do you have to mention the 1 gold medal that I didn't get?
Acha, I always thought you had all of them, so you missed one.
No, I did not. I missed. I have 7 because I know that I think if these are one of those rare things where women have an edge. So there is a female, there's a gold medal for a female topper. Like if you're female, so you get an additional one. So that's why I have 7. Otherwise, everyone assumes that, the total number that you can have 7. But that's not true.
Ah, okay.
You can have 8, but only if you are a female.
Okay.
If you're a guy, then you can have 7, not more than that.
Of being a female.
Right?
But
yeah.
The female comes with it. Being a female comes with its share of complexities too, right? So,
of course it does.
so
yeah.
you are a successful. You're on books. You are one of the best students, right? And everybody is looking at you. The spotlight is on you. Does it scare you as a female, or does it make you enjoy it as much as males do? Because I've been contemplating a lot, ma'am. So the recent chapters of the author that we listened months ago, and before that the Mehwish Hayat thing, I was like, I mean, what is this? Why do we always point out the females when there are multiple males at the same situation doing the same thing?
Yeah, I mean,
did it confuse you with this question, or did I make any sense?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I have a lot to say. I don't know if we have enough time to talk about this. I mean, this is a big topic here. I must confess though that I do come from a privileged background. Okay, so I think the challenges that I have faced are very little compared to challenges that an average Pakistani female faces. I mean, I come from a background. My parents are educated. We are, alhamdulillah, we are well off, or we are okay. I never had to struggle in any way in my family being a female. There was never any preference. I have 2 brothers. I'm the, literally the pet of, I'm the favorite of everyone. Grandmother, both sides, grandfather,
I was gonna say the spoiled child,
uncles and aunts. That one cousin that everyone hates, whose example is being given. Sana ne ye kiya tha, to tumne ye kyun nahi kiya? I was that person. So and I still am. I get the most ED. Even I'm 36 years old, so I still get the maximum ED. So I can compete with little kids in the family when it comes to favoritism. So I'm just a favorite. So what I'm trying to say is that the fact that I was a female, personally, from family point of view, I never had any problem. I wanted to go abroad, study. I studied. I got married by my choice. There was never any question of nahi ye shaadi nahi ho sakti, from in another culture. Totally, it was just accepted. But professionally, as a professional in Pakistan, that's a completely different story. As a student in Pakistan, my life was difficult in the university. I mean, university, there are lots of things that I love about UET. I absolutely love about the professors there. I think I was a favorite of a lot of professors also. But at the end of the day, there were some difficulties that I believe that, let's say, a male student, for example, I don't, just because I got 7 gold medals and I topped the class, I don't consider myself smarter than the one at number 2 and number 3 and number 4, number 10. I don't, right? You know how it is. It doesn't mean that someone has the best grades is also the most intelligent. I think there were other very good students. Zahir was there. I don't know if you know him or not. I've forgotten the names. But anyway, there were other students also. But I do believe that my challenges were completely different. I didn't like the spotlight. I don't know if other people realize this or not, but I never wanted the spotlight. It was always the unwanted attention. At that time, जब मैंने civil engineering की थी, तब लड़कियां कोई topper होती भी नहीं थी. Now it's common, you see a lot of girls getting very good grades in engineering. At that time, it was unheard of. First time I got a position, so even there were some teachers who were looking for me, that who is this girl? And it just, I mean, I am a very confident person. मेरे में confidence की कोई कमी नहीं है, but I just didn't want that unwanted attention. But it happened. I dealt with it. What can I say about it? Many times, I would say 90% of the faculty, my professors, were very supportive. But sometimes they would say things that were, I mean, that had nothing to do with my grades, or, you know, making a comment about how I'm dressing, or I'm not covering my head, or my nails are long, or my nails are short. This has nothing to do with and the interesting thing is, I did get away with all of these things. I never changed my style just because I was in UET. But probably because I was also a good student. So the professors or the teachers and everyone around me was like always conflicted that, okay, she does what she wants, but she's also a very good student. So, and I think that's not fair. Why would someone, let's say, who doesn't get good grades, and she gets criticized more for doing the same fashion that I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
So these things, even what I'm trying to explain is that, yes, as female, I have faced a lot of problems, lots of bias also, not just as a student, as a teacher also. It was harder for me to be accepted by my students. And I see that as I grow older, it's becoming easier. You know, a long time when I first started teaching, one of the professors in UET, he said that, you know what, you will do a better job after 10 years. And I said, why? Will I get more experience of teaching? He said, no, it's the age factor. You'll be respected more. And I think he was right. Although it shouldn't be this way, but this is my experience also, that I had a hard time. And this is something which is not my experience. I know I discuss a lot with other faculties, and not just Pakistan, everywhere, here also, in Netherlands also. You know, even in the West, there are research papers that female professors get judged harshly in the evaluations than their male counterparts. That's a bias that even a Western born students have against female professors, but it gets better as we grow older. Somehow we just get more respect, or I don't know what's the logic behind this, but this is how it is. So coming back to the same thing, that yes, I have faced problems, but I would still say that my problems are nothing compared to what an average woman faces. It's I would be lying if I say that, you know, I mean, I don't want to sound like complaining too much, because I know that there are a lot of people in worse situations than I am. So, I mean, there are so many girls who want to study, and they are not allowed after 12th grade, or maybe even after 10th grade. Yeah. So these are the things that we live with. I do know that things are improving, which is good.
Are they? Because what
I think that's the thing. Now when you talk about it, it is getting polarized, right?
It's getting, I don't know, I've been so overwhelmed with this for the past couple of months, and that's why I asked this to you as well, because I never thought about it before. And then when I started contemplating, researching, asking, I got scared of the reality of it. And I never realized it, because I belong to a different universe because of my gender. So it's scary, and unfortunately nothing much is happening according to me. I mean, of course you have a better oversight, but yeah.
In the Middle East, there is I mean, I had no problem in acceptance from my colleagues, though. There is no, I've never felt that just because I'm female, I'm treated in a different way. That's something which is, and also it was the same thing in Europe also. Work-wise, my life is much easier. Yes, Pakistan has its good things. You know, university back home has its good things. like every place. But the society and culture part of it is something that as female we struggle with, especially those of us who went abroad and got used to, maybe there is some level of gender bias in every society, but not as much as back home. So when we come back, there is a huge difference in everything. So yeah. But then I do know that in UET, I believe the research facilities, there are a lot of research facilities there. If you talk about labs and all that, it's an established workplace.
You know what? When I tell somebody here that I graduated from one of the best universities back home for $500 for 4 years of education, their faces are like.
I do tell this. According to my calculations, my whole engineering was like 50,000, 50,000, out of which per semester I was on a scholarship, so that was like 3,000. So
Yeah.
fees 5,000 per semester or 3,000 aapka scholarship. So what's left,
Which
so
again is unfair, I would say,
which
because
is a great thing. It's,
no, I think it's unfair, ma'am, because there are students who can pay, who come. I had students who came on very exclusive German cars, and they were not paying the proper tuition that they were supposed to pay. So it's equality, but it's not equity, is what I'm trying to say. So LUMS, for example, has a better model. They give the NOPs to all the deserving students, but all the students that can afford, they should pay. And that's why UET suffers too, because it doesn't have that tuition coming.
That's one way of looking at it. Other way of looking at it could be that, I mean, if anyone is coming in UET, you must know that he or she must be a smart student. Grades to achhe honge na, merit based. This is a merit, and this is a public university. When you have a public university, LUMS is not a public university. Okay, when you have a public university and you are run by the government can't differentiate between a rich and a poor person as long as they are competing on merit. You get
They
this?
used to, right? There was self-finance thing, right?
Sorry?
I remember there was self-finance.
There was a self-financing option. So if someone who doesn't come on that merit and they can afford, they can give money and they can get their education. Okay, but this is one way of looking at it. But LUMS kind of model that you can apply it on private universities. You know how private universities, where their funds come from. So their funds come from the student fee. Right? So LUMS has to charge. UET's funds are coming from the government. And government, whether you like it or not, they are not going to differentiate if you are a rich or a poor, as long as if you are a 4 GPA student, whether you are a rich student or a poor student, they will treat you the same way. So yeah, that's the thing.
But anyway, UET is a blessing, definitely.
Yeah, it is for.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, I believe that at that time, I think if I hadn't gone to UET, I don't know where I would have gone.
You know what? I never applied to any other place. It was like in my DNA to go to civil engineering because of my family. I had only one option in my, that list of preferences. I had only civil engineering in there.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah, I just applied in UET. That was the only place that I wanted to go to, and that's about it. Yeah. But interesting thing is that I was in the 3rd merit list of UET Lahore.
Really? Wow.
Really? Let me disclose this. Yeah, I was. That makes you question what kind of examination are FSC intermediate. Yeah, what are they checking? Are they checking IQ of students, or are they just checking rata of students, or what are they checking?
You know what? I miss my Ratna now. I can't memorize anything now.
I can't memorize. That was always my problem. And even in FSC, I just could not memorize things, and I could not reproduce them the way they were written in the books. I would write in my own words, and if I write in my own words, that was not going to be appreciated. But in UET, I know it was appreciated. I remember there was an exam of Sir Imtiaz. He taught us construction or something. And he later, he said to me that the way you've written is like this. And I was like, well, it was just my own words, what I understood from the lecture. And he gave me very good grades on that course. So in UET, I don't think they expected you to reproduce everything. Otherwise, I wouldn't do well there.
There was a teacher from your session. I don't remember the name. Essen Sattar. Essen.
No, he was year senior.
Oh, Jawad Hussain.
Jawad, yeah.
He's in US. So he gave an exam that was literally 5 minutes long. It was a yes and no and a reasoning. That's it. I loved that exam. I was out in a jiffy. I was done. So yeah, you hardly find that format in our settings. But here, when I taught a course here for 2 years, and it was very different. So a lot of learning. I'm taking a lot of your time, so I'll let you go, ma'am. Thank you so much for talking to me. I had these questions vexing with my mind for so long. So what are you making for iftari, by the way?
I already made lentil soup. I will make fatouche, and I already marinated chicken for shish tauk. So
you are Arabic already.
My husband is Lebanese. I'm not sure if you know. So
I didn't know.
I cook 90% food that I cook is just Lebanese. It's like I'm forgetting Pakistani cooking. So. Yeah.
Okay, that makes
But he loves Pakistani food. He absolutely loves Pakistani food.
Does he love the spice?
Oh yes, he eats spicier food than I do. मतलब अचार ऐसे डाल के मुंह में साबुत. He loves everything. He really likes Pakistani food.
Cool. Yeah. How do you? I mean, the food is good, I know, but the way you present it in your photographs, that's really a skill.
Yeah, I stopped. I used to blog. I don't know if you know about this or not.
I remember something.
Yeah, these days, I mean, I'm the kind of person, I find the hobby, I play with it a couple of years and then I get bored and I find something new. So during my PhD years, I was cooking a lot, taking nice pictures and all that. And now I am cooking, but I'm not too active in taking pictures and posting. I do post sometimes on Instagram. I do post, but not much on Facebook. And but I am painting. Although I'm just a copy paste painter.
No. I just remember your paintings were good.
Which brings your wife. Oh my God, she's amazing.
Yeah, she's good, but you have a different format, and I don't know what the language of art.
I mean, I'm not exact. Yeah, I paint with acrylics and abstract mostly, but I can show you actually my latest work, maybe.
That would be great.
But the thing is, I'm self-taught and I just copy other people's work. So. But I'm not selling it anywhere. So, it's not the plagiarism case. I don't know if you can see this or not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So, I mean, it's not finished yet. So, there are a couple of other...
Yep, I've seen this one before in one of your pictures. Yep.
Anyway, my Instagram and Facebook have more pictures. So, I do paint, but as I said, they are not... Most of them, 90% are not original work. So... I just gift it to friends or family or keep it for myself. So, but your wife, she's amazing.
Thank you. Yep. So I think I'll let you go. Thank you so much again, and have a wonderful
Thank you so much for having
Faizan. And Stay safe. Don't go out unnecessarily. You have
Yeah,
an
yeah.
N95 mask with you?
Sorry?
N95 mask, the mask.
Oh, no, not the N95, just the regular ones. Yeah, yeah. But I do wear gloves and the mask and while going out. So, yeah.
The world needs you.
All right. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye.